Even though I'm the winner of 4 collegiate and professional football championships and have a sportscasting career, I've been surprised at the one big question guys ask me these days. Does Extends really work? Can you believe it? So here's my answer. It works for me, and since Extends has sold over 1 billion tablets to men, I'm thinking it works for them too. Most men want to perform the best they can in just about everything. Isn't that why we buy the biggest and best of everything? So if you want that maximum performance edge every day, I say go long with Extends.
This is the One Star Cowboys Podcast, presented by Haymaker. Now here's your host, Kevin K.T. Turner.
All right, it's the One Star Cowboys Podcast. I'm Kevin Turner. John Machota and Saad Youssef from The Athletic are here as always. We also have Kent Garrison, of course. Saad's representing the North Texas Mean Green. Show that off real quick to the TV.
That's right. Go Mean Green.
Finishing the year ranked number 24, where you want to be. If you're a program like North Texas, you'll take it, man. We've lived a long, hard life. Won a lot of games this year. So shout out to our Mean Green fam. We got a lot to get to, even though, the Cowboys aren't playing, which is a bummer. So how you guys doing? You guys ready for the big winter storm?
I'm terrified. I love.
John, do you have your 5 driving tips? Since you're from Detroit, like you've battled the elements more than we have.
I love when people bring that up. I mean, it's handled completely differently. So
how so?
There's plow trucks out all the time. People are used to driving in it. There's a thing called rock salt that helps melt the ice and then give you traction.
So not sand,
sand.
We're using sand,
yeah,
right?
It makes it worse. So yeah, it's
Did
not
you
even
see all the
close.
sand that was being put on the tollway, or was it rock salt?
I guarantee it wasn't rock salt.
It appeared to be brown in nature, which
and
makes
I get why you
sand.
don't want to use rock salt, because if you don't need it, it does. I mean, it eats up the road. It'll eat up your car. I mean, it's not great, but it's a necessary item in the north. You don't need it down here. So I hate when people bring that up about how I'm supposed to be this pro on it, because for 28 years I was used to it. Like I was just telling someone the other day, I have a car right now that I will always drive because I can drive it year round. Where that car, when I had one similar in Michigan, I couldn't drive it all year round because you get no traction when it's icy and snowy out. So you want to get an SUV, you want to get a bigger vehicle. But down here, I love that I can drive my car year round.
You sound like kind of pro to me, John.
Okay.
Sounds like you know what you're talking about. When it
I
comes
do
to
know what
this.
I'm talking about on a lot of topics, but I don't know if
I think
people are always listening.
I think I saw our senator going out to Laguna Beach.
Oh,
already.
Yeah,
He's already on a
getting a
plane.
kickstart on
Get
it.
away, man.
Hey,
It's coming.
sometimes you got to be a chaperone when this stuff happens.
Hey, honestly, get ahead of it. I wasn't here. What do you want me to do? How am I supposed to help?
What am I going to do with the grid?
So good luck, everyone, this weekend, because it is going to be cold. You can lock in on Sunday and watch football. I want to talk about the football weekend that happened and kind of look at the Final Four teams and how they got there and how they're built kind of compared to the Cowboys. Because I think of the 4 remaining teams, the team most similarly built to the Cowboys might be the Rams, just because of the way the quarterback is structured. I don't think there's some clear-cut way of how to do this, though. Clearly, if your quarterback makes less, you might have a good chance to fill out other spots on the roster. That's all simple. We all know that. But I was just thinking about how wild it is that Sam Darnold is in a championship game. Like, this has really been the most insane college football and I think NFL season that I can remember in a long time.
Yes, whoever's got the worst defense, that would be the closest to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, these teams all kind of play some defense. So when you talk about comparing them to the Cowboys, I would say for me, when I watch these teams play defensively, it looks absolutely nothing like the Cowboys. The aggressiveness, the taking the ball away, hitting the quarterback, everybody playing as one. None of that looks anything like the Cowboys defensively. So it's hard for me to make a comparison.
Yeah, and also when you talk about comparison, I feel like I see more of what's not the Cowboys this weekend than I do. And the other way that I would go with that is if you're asking me like one position where I don't see like any similarity, because defense as a whole unit for sure, but you just look at head coach and you look at the power that those guys have. Now, admittedly, I don't really know the dynamics of Mike McDonald too much, but I know Sean Payton, I know Sean McVay, and I know Mike Vrabel, and I know those guys those are top tier guys that, you go out and get guys that, the Cowboys have made clear they don't really find that to be a worthwhile investment in a coach of that level. But you look at those top 4, like I said, don't know too much about McDonald and his power, but I know Sean McVay, Sean Payton, and Mike Vrabel are doing whatever they want, and it's their thing.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Cowboys for years. It's never felt like there's some set philosophy. I mean, we know a few things, like they don't want to spend a lot in free agency. They want to draft and develop like every team does.
And by the way, that's
the Rams
not a shot
aren't
at
trying to do that,
Schottenheimer. That's not a shot at Schottenheimer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's more about, like, I'm just talking about how ownership and front office views the dynamic up top above the roster, where I think it's more about, like, that level than necessarily the coaching staff and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's above the coaches too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the whole going back to the keeping the main thing. And football is important for the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't know if it's always the main thing. I think the entertainment aspect of it can overshadow it. The popularity of the team overshadows it, and that's being obviously contributed to by the owner. And so I think right now is a good example of, with a lot of these top jobs coming open, like we were talking about before the show, you're hearing from a lot of these owners that you never hear from, whereas you hear from Jerry Jones multiple times per week. You know exactly, what's on his mind all the time, and he wants it that way. And with these other organizations, including the ones that are still playing right now, it's very top-down. Football is number one. We try to eliminate distractions. We don't sit there and say, yeah, you know what? When things get a little boring, I'll stir it up.
That's right.
Because I think if you're a casual football fan, just on the ownership front, other than Robert Kraft, I don't think a casual football fan can name the owner of the Rams, Broncos, or Seahawks. I don't think that's...
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rams would probably be number one, but just because Stan Kroenke is
Yeah.
pretty involved throughout sports. But yeah.
When you look at the Sam Darnold situation in Seattle, do you think Minnesota's got a ton of regrets there?
Well, I don't, because the bottom hasn't fallen out yet for Sam. I think we're all kind of waiting for that
It would have
game
happened by
where-
now, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they do a good job of now not allowing him to CJ Stroud himself. So I think he's solid. I'll kind of believe it when I see it, when they win it all. I just feel like there's going to, and I hate to say this about this guy because he has only lost 6 games as a college quarterback and he's played college football for 37 years, but like Carson Beck, you kind of just felt like the longer he played, just watching him over the last few years, a lot of times they like to have a lead with him, and that so that he's not put in the position where he has to try and have to win the game. You just felt like the longer he played, the better chance there is. So, hey, maybe Seattle's defense is so dominant that Darnold's never even put in a situation like that, But I don't know. Let me think of a scenario, like maybe him being on the goal line and them deciding to throw instead of run. Like, Seattle did that.
Yes.
I could see potentially that same exact interception being thrown, but I don't think that it's tough because Minnesota didn't have Seattle's defense. So that's one reason why I don't know how much remorse they have on that. If they clearly thought that he wasn't the guy, they're looking for somebody new, then that's the path that they took. But I don't see that Vikings team, if you all of a sudden just put Darnold on it, and you're like, they're still playing right now. That's not.
Yeah, I also think whatever you call it, not buyer's remorse, sunk cost fallacy, whatever, of like you drafted J.J. McCarthy and you just feel like we have to put this guy out there because we drafted him. Unlike and I don't think all organizations necessarily do that, because the 49ers drafted Trey Lance really high and barely gave him a shot. I mean, he got in McCarthy obviously had the whole year wiped out, but Lance got very minimal reps, and once they knew Purdy was the guy, they were like, whatever, we're gonna part ways no matter what. Whereas like I think the Vikings were like, 1, we drafted this guy. 2, Sam Darnold didn't really he did shrink in the big moments last year, whether it was the regular season finale or the playoffs themselves. So like there was enough there. I'm not fully blaming the Vikings on that, but I do think that they looked at that and they were like, yeah, it's probably not worth it.
Watch all these games too. I've been like in my mind just going of how ridiculous it is that we have these conversations, which these are just conversations, for content and stuff, but like throughout the world, all these conversations happen about, can this quarterback get it done? Can he be the one? And you go look at all of these games in the playoffs have been such a tiny margin of error, right? Except for a 49ers Seahawks game. Just a tiny margin of error. And you're like, it's kind of ridiculous to even have that question, because honestly, all these quarterbacks are in it, and very few of them, because of themselves, are taking it out of it. There's just things that are happening in a game. The Josh Allen, play with Brandon Cooks there. CJ Stroud might be an example of right now at this point in his career. Yeah, probably can't go win one, and that's something they're going to have to deal with, but they're clearly not giving up on him. I just think these conversations, they get out of whack so fast, and maybe that's like a ring culture thing or whatever it is. And at the end of the game, you're trying to win a championship, so that's the goal. So if you should think about how much heat Dak has taken over the years.
But I mean, just look at the defending Super Bowl champion, defending Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Like, there's people talking right now like they don't think he can play at all. And Jalen Hurts is still a really good quarterback. Now, yeah, you put Dak on Philadelphia, I've always thought, yeah, he would win Super Bowls with them too. Josh Allen with Philadelphia, he's probably got 2 or 3 rings, But there's a balance between, can you be one of these teams that puts together this great all-around team, like Philadelphia obviously did last year, probably, and even this year I thought that they saw it on paper, the team's good. I mean, now there's been some fraying, obviously, with players on the team, but talent-wise, if it's healthy, it's a good roster. But you just look at some of these other organizations that are really top-notch right now, and they don't put it all on the quarterback because there's so many other things. Like Denver's obviously not doing that. Seattle's obviously not doing that. The Rams are, but like Detroit's not doing that. I don't feel like Green Bay's doing that. Like obviously if Jordan Love plays at a high level, great, you're winning Super Bowls. But he doesn't have to if the defense is healthy. If that Packers roster is healthy, you don't need Jordan Love to be Superman every week.
Yeah, and also
the Bills need Josh Allen to be Superman, and really so do the Rams need Matthew Stafford.
I think if this year doesn't end up being an outlier and it becomes more of a trend, like it's going to be fascinating for the quarterback contract market because when you look at just the way that these quarterbacks right now, I mean, forget Jared Stidham. If this was Bo Nix, if this was any the highest paid guys, the top level guys, like they're not here right now, other than Stafford. So, I think it could be a philosophy because C.J. Stroud, he had one of the worst games that I've seen in modern history and in recent memory at least, and they were still in it till the very end. Like if you just got below average quarterback and not god awful, they could have won that game because that defense is so good. So I wonder if you're and then it goes beyond even just what we're seeing in this weekend. I think if you look at the Baker Mayfields of the world and that kind of guys, I wonder if we almost kind of with Dak's contract saw the peak and then it comes back down a little bit. Like even after Dak's contract, Josh Allen signed for 55. So I wonder if it almost comes back down a little bit and there's a little bit of like reprogramming of strategy by how teams are building their rosters.
So I don't think quarterback market will change at all. I just think there's so few elite ones that will always drive the price up. Mm-hmm. So that I don't think that's going anyway. I mean,
but do you
Mendoza's probably going. What's that?
Do you need the elite ones? I think that's where
I think there's too many organizations that aren't on that elite level where they will feel like that will be their best bridging of the gap. Yeah. Instead of trying to hit on, we got to find 2 really good DNs, 2 good linebackers, a great DC who, if he's really great, he's going to leave every year, great corners, an outstanding offensive line, a good run game. They'll be like, well, we can get this elite quarterback that'll kind of mask a lot of that stuff. And so that's why I don't think that it'll change for the top level guys. And then what was the second thing that you said?
But like the Dak level guys, like I think
the Dak thing, though, I will also say I think this year's playoff, especially with the way Lawrence is playing, I mean, I don't know that they didn't have a really elite team under Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
You had healthy Micah Parsons, healthy DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, you're taking the ball away at an elite level in 21 and 22, and you were sacking the quarterback as much, if not more, than anybody. I get it that you didn't have the number 2 receiver you have right now, but there could be some looking back on that and being like, wow, that was some really missed opportunities.
This has been like a 4 or 5 year discussion that we've had on the show of like, until there's like the super elite NFC quarterback outside of Matt Stafford, I think.
Yeah.
You're kind of going, could it be Dak? Yeah, 1 year it could be Dak.
Yeah.
And
Troy Aikman said
else.
it after
It should have been at least
2023.
once.
Troy Aikman said it after 2023. That's probably going to be one of the biggest lost opportunities. If you ever just break down the 30-year drought, 2023 would be top 3 in terms of just missed opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, they put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. They were trying to end curses on this thing, and it just
Netflix series. Yeah, a lot going on there.
They had no business being the 2 seed. The Eagles completely fell apart down the stretch. All that, everything happened. They got the youngest team in the league in the Packers. It was at home. They hadn't lost a home game in 2 years. Like, just everything was there, and then they didn't lose. They got demolished.
You brought up Jimmy Johnson real quick. I just want to say, whoever made the AI thing of him, it's messed up. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Whoa, why? What? Like, What
he
is this? The first
tweeted
time
it.
you've seen somebody do
No,
that? Like it's been around
but
forever now. This has been going on for like the last year.
But you hardly see the person retweet it and say, a guy who doesn't tweet that much anyways, go, that's wrong. This isn't real. You're going to kill an old person.
No. Yeah.
KT, I meant to ask you about this. I know you saw it. Did you see the one of the handshake after the Packers-Bears game and Ben Johnson ninja kicked Matt LaFleur?
Yeah.
Wait.
I was like, I could see that really happening anyways.
He didn't kick him? Oh, my God.
I'm just saying, when you see the person.
Who is Jimmy kissing in that thing, by the way? Is that a Bella Danger?
I don't know who that. No, it wasn't a Bella Danger.
Who's that? Miami fan?
Yeah, I
A
don't know
Bella
who that is.
Danger?
Yeah, she's a Miami super fan. She's been going to a lot of their games. Very popular on social
You have to
media.
explain that to us, John.
She's a lawyer, a future lawyer.
Yeah.
She's going to law school.
Miami student.
She worked to make a lot of money to then go to law school.
Where'd she work?
In the industry. Let's move on to the NFL coaching catamaran. I think
Same industry
carousel.
as us, entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment.
Oh, she's an entertainer?
Yeah.
I think coaching carousels used too much.
For kids?
Not for
We
kids.
can move on now.
The NFL coaching
No,
catamaran.
let's keep talking about this. Go on.
Hey, we still don't have a defensive coordinator, guys.
ESPN's going to show her on TV. We're going to talk. Sorry, go on.
Well, I thought it was wild how much of the population just knew it was her. Because I didn't know.
Wait, who didn't know?
I didn't know.
This
That wouldn't be my style.
This is a thing with camera guys. If you've worked in TV trucks before during games, specifically, I've seen it the most at golf tournaments when they have a blimp cam and they need a beauty shot of the fairway as they're coming back from commercial. The other 95% of the time, they're just zooming in on girls in bikinis and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, they zoomed in
So
on
when
her
they're-
in one of the other playoff games too.
Yeah,
like
well,
ESPN knew exactly
know
what they were
they-
doing. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they know
they knew
don't
what they
have
were
to,
doing,
like,
but I'm saying,
put the
like,
little label underneath her of
Yeah.
what she does. They
it's
just-
not isolated to her. It's just
Yeah.
cute girls in general seem to be, of interest to these camera guys.
Hold on, let's see how many followers she has on social media.
It's a lot.
Oh,
9 point something
we're
million.
all right.
Tough loss.
9.5 million. See,
Yeah.
Tough loss to swallow there for Michael Irvin and
I heard our buddies
As
on
it
the
were.
zone breaking that down, so that wasn't just a guess.
See what you
no, it
did there.
sounds like you knew.
how do we get derailed this much by a throwaway joke from John?
Sorry.
Again, it's the NFL coaching catamaran.
Mhm.
Who's our defensive coordinator? Come on, let's go.
I know that fans aren't going to like this, but I mean, you just look at the candidates. I think it's got to be Jonathan Gannon, or if they wait until the end of the weekend and Jared Stidham isn't able to get the job done, then I could see Jim Leonard coming back into the picture. But I just feel like there's other people that have been interviewed up to this point. They've already interviewed 9 candidates and then 3 in-house. And out of the in-house ones, I don't know how you don't look at Jonathan Gannon as the leader of that group. I mean, Christian Parker, he's the Philadelphia Eagles defensive passing game coordinator and DB coach.
He's
the last few
34 years
seasons.
old.
And then Durante Jones. Those are the in-person ones this week. Who's Durante Jones is the Vikings defensive passing coordinator and defensive backs coach. And so the resume, I mean, forget what he did with the Cardinals. I mean, he obviously was the DC in Philadelphia and they went to the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I can't speak for everybody that's in my Twitter mentions whenever his name is brought up, but how much that video of Jonathan Gannon talking about, did you guys ride the bus on the way in? Did you feel that fire in your? Well, if you don't feel it, you better get it. And it just is completely dead in that room.
Yeah.
And this was a Hard Knocks thing when they were covering Arizona. And like these players just don't care what he has to say. That if that video does not exist, I don't think there is as much negativity about him potentially being Eberflus part 2, where just like the guys are just like, what do we do? No, we're not doing this, If that video doesn't exist, I think more people would be on board. But if he is the hire, I can just tell a lot of Cowboys fans aren't going to be happy about that. But it's not just the DC of Philadelphia, and then he's got that previous head coaching experience. Like he knows guys on the staff. Like I can just see the Clayton Adams connection. There's just things about it where I'm not saying that he's guaranteed going to be the guy. But if I'm setting the Vegas odds right now, to me, it's not even close. Leonard would be the next one, and that would be if Denver loses and they can get him in the building within the next week.
Yeah, as soon as Gannon was fired, I tweeted out that I thought that he was going to be the guy just because of the Clayton Adams connection, and it's not just Arizona. They were together in Indianapolis as well, so like they go a ways back. I think he's going to get good reviews. I I like the Eagles pass game coordinator, right?
Christian Parker.
Yeah, I like Christian Parker, but it just feels very out of character for the Cowboys to take that big of a swing, that big of a risk, where I do feel it could be very boom or bust. Now, bias aside, like when you look at like the Commanders' offensive coordinator that they hired, David Blau, the fact that they could have, you could go and try, like they have a head coach who's a coordinator type guy in Dan Quinn, the same way the Cowboys do on the other side, that you would think that you would hire an offensive coordinator like Mike McDaniel or someone who is basically doing that side. But they took a big risk. Like they took a big, it could be boom or bust type of thing. I just don't think that the Cowboys are really suited to do that. I don't think that they go around that, where if Schottenheimer is the head coach and the play caller on offense, I think on defense they just want something that's completely independent.
I mean, it does. Sorry, John. Real quick.
I was just going to say, I just keep going back to that. I think one of these other candidates is on the staff. I think it's just very much like Joe Witt Jr. When they hired Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr. was one of the interviews on that for the DC job.
Yeah.
And he ended up being on the staff as kind of like the assistant DC, and then, he was the guy that was up in the booth while Dan was coaching from the sideline. I think one of these other candidates that are on the list that they've interviewed will end up being on the staff.
I mean, Aaron Whitecotton is
him. Yeah, I don't think Aaron. Yeah, I don't think Aaron Whitecotton's going anywhere. I'm talking about another outside the building guy.
Yeah. And if you look, there's a couple things that are in common. One is all under the age of 50, for the most part, I believe, and then the other one is like history of coaching defensive backs.
Right.
I mean, there's a couple guys. Zach Orr, the Ravens defensive coordinator, linebacker. We'll see where he ends up. He's 33 years old and maybe a friend of the show. But you start looking at like some of these other guys, they're all defensive back coaches. Even Jonathan Gannon, before he was a DC in Philly, defensive backs coach. And you look at everything that happened last year, you can point to linebacker play. We know the moves around the defensive line, but a lot of times you just go coverage bust again. And how much of that we want to put on Trayvon Diggs is fine, okay? But coverage bust again. And again, Marquise Bell is trailing someone who's faster than him. Okay, what's going on? So there's just a couple things you just piece together there. Like they're looking for younger, and they're looking for someone who can shore up the back end a little bit. So I like what you said, though. I said, who is it? And you said Jonathan Gannon. So doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. I just want the take. We can put it on social media as a clip.
Yeah.
There you go.
I also think that, regardless of who the defensive coordinator ends up being, if there's not a personnel change in general on the defensive side, like there's going to be problems. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't buy what Stephen Jones and Jerry are selling about, well, the talent is there. I don't think all the talent is there, especially on the second and third level. I think you're closer on the first level, but I don't think the linebackers and secondary is necessarily close. You can be close. I don't think there's an overhaul needed, but changes are needed.
Yeah, and I had personnel at cornerback for sure.
Yeah.
Jumps out. I mean, Deron Bland's injury, again, any trust in Ravel, we hope it works out, but I don't think you can just go, he's one of our starters, write it off. I don't think anyone's believing that.
I think they're missing a number one corner.
Yeah.
I think everybody
100%.
else factors in, can be 2, 3, 4s, but I think they're missing a number one corner, and that means that you probably need to use a first-round pick on one. And
you rarely hear Jerry kind of just go out there and say it like he did about Jordan Lewis.
Right.
He made it very clear, they missed Jordan Lewis.
You hardly hear him go out and admit that they were wrong about something, Yeah. Which they never, it seemed, to value him as much as maybe the fans did and all this stuff. You can tell undersized and all that stuff, but it's we do have pretty good production every year at this position. All right. Okay, we got where we needed to go there. Defense coordinator. I like where we are. Let's go to Mike McCarthy to Pittsburgh rumor. Another AI photo problem. Tom Pelissero. Dude, what are you doing?
That one was weird.
I know you have pictures of McCarthy in your phone. Just post it out there. You don't have to AI it at a bar
that one was
in
weird.
Pittsburgh. He's not at Gooski's. He's hanging out at Gooski's. What are we doing, dude?
I don't think he smokes cigs either.
I didn't know it was real, though. When it was Tom Pelissero tweeting about McCarthy, you know it's real. And
the photo?
Not the photo,
okay.
just the
news.
content.
The nudes?
The news.
The news.
The upsell of the McCarthy's resume and all that stuff, which is good. Dude, you can inject it into my veins. McCarthy, run it back with Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Let's go. Run back that shitty roster and see if we can get 10 wins.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, not the Cleveland Browns. Why would they do something like that? I do think that that's his best shot at a job. If he doesn't get that one, I don't know if he's going to get any of the other ones. I don't know where he's really a fit there. I thought the Giants was a possibility.
Tennessee.
I thought Tennessee was interesting
Yeah.
just because as a guy of his caliber, if you enter the offseason with the most cap space and a quarterback already in place, like I felt like that would be up Mike McCarthy's alley. But yeah,
I feel like he definitely ends up in Cleveland.
I think Jim Schwartz is getting that one.
Oh.
He's already had multiple interviews there. He was one that I thought for sure would interview with the Cowboys for the DC job, but it seems like they have legitimate interest in him as
There's
being
no
the head coach.
way Aaron Rodgers is coming back. He's going to retire and hang out with a real human woman.
that absolutely totally
Does
100%
totally
exists.
exists.
The other thing, okay, first of all, Mike McCarthy would have been great for Cam Ward. But Robert Saleh there, we'll see what they do at OC and get that moving. Stefanski to Atlanta. I love that the Buffalo Bills are just interviewing Brian Daboll. If Banana Bread Daboll fails upward, that is incredible. Like, we should all maybe look into what he's done along the way to get to that, because rarely do you like get fired from your job in the middle of it and then go to something that's way more awesome. That rarely happens.
to me, I think it's because right now I think it's Joe Brady and Daboll, and
They have to keep Joe Brady in the building if they're gonna. I mean, that'd be weird to just run them both out there.
well, but I think a lot of it with Daboll, if you heard Terry Pagula talk and how much he was shaken by Josh Allen's tears, like I think Daboll is close to Josh Allen, and we know that. And I feel like that's a Josh Allen hire if they go in that direction. And to be honest, there were Bills columnists and reporters writing about the Bills should bring in Brian Daboll this year after the Giants let him go. They were talking about bringing him in as a post-deadline acquisition that the GM actually didn't make in terms of players. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me. But yeah, I mean that's a weird situation.
Do y'all think McDermott deserved to be fired?
If
How'd you feel about
if
that?
there's better candidates than the names that you're talking about, yes.
And is there?
Not that are going to be taking that job, no.
Yeah, I would have let it run back at least one more year.
It was wild to see as many players and former
I would
players.
rather have Mike McCarthy than either of those two guys that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather have McCarthy than McDermott. Yeah.
Especially with Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
Yeah.
No, not than McDermott. I'm talking about for in Buffalo. I'm talking about over Daboll and Joe Brady.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of interesting. Like, that's a lot of years. And, like, you have to – the reason is, like, because Mahomes didn't make the playoffs. You got to throw all those in there, Lamar, Joe
Yeah.
Burrow. But I don't know if it's that. I think it's, like, honestly, here we are. And if it's true that he was just bad-mouthing the roster and stuff, or the compilation of the roster, this is why I was screaming at the deadline. Just get George Pickens. Trade for George Pickens. Offer him
You
out
don't
there.
even have to get George Pickens. You could have had Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby
Myers was
Yeah.
so much more realistic, and they didn't even do that. And then McDermott, when they played the Jaguars, is out there praising Jacoby Myers and the Jaguars for that acquisition. I mean, it was right there.
You could have 12, 20, and hypothetically, in my world, though, you could have 12, 20, and 26 or whatever it is, and no tension going into a George Pickens contract, because that's coming. That's coming. You could have all that. Now, who knows? They were going to offer that and all that stuff, but whatever. The Bills might have been like, no, we're not doing it. We can get Brandon Cooks. We'll be fine. When you can get Brandon Cooks, who has just been cut, you'll be fine.
Let me ask you something, KT. What does former Cowboys head coach Wade Phillips think about this?
Oh, let's throw up the X a little bit here. Thank you for the segue, dude. The throw up the X segment is pretty lit this week because Son of Bum got pretty active on Twitter X. Big week for the elders on X. And Jimmy Johnson going to war with AI. Wade Phillips, this was January 19th, so Monday at 9:40 a.m. I was very, all caps, surprised the Bills fired their head coach after a playoff loss. Wade Phillips. He typed his name after the tweet.
Well, I didn't know who said it. After
Like he's
he
texting
said
his
it.
grandson or
Some
something.
Captain Raymond Holt energy.
I'm going to
right
start
there.
doing that. Start putting your name at the end of your tweets, folks. We'll know that you're a big listener of the show if you do that. UFL head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, is that still happening?
No, doubt it.
He needs to update that bio then if he's going to be active on these Twitter streets.
Does he still want to coach?
there's no way he still wants to coach, right?
I feel like he deserves a job. If so, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. Won a Super Bowl like pretty recently.
How old is he?
Old.
I don't know.
Is he old enough to be, I don't know, the president of the United States? 78.
We need to get Wade on the show.
So he'll be 79 when the season starts. Do you think the locker room would, if we were worried about connecting with Eberflus, do you think they would connect with Wade at 79?
Well, way different personalities. I mean, yeah, there's a chance, but I wouldn't comp those two guys together. I think Gannon's more similar to Eberflus than Wade Phillips. I think you could get some guys that really enjoyed him. Where I think Gannon and Eberflus are more of, this is the way we're going to do it. Buy in or get out.
Yeah.
This might sound crazy, but of all the like post Barry Switzer coaches that have come through here, I think Wade might rank for me at the top of the have a beer list.
Oh,
Even over Bill.
Yeah, I don't think.
I would love to hang out with Wade
I don't
for
think that-
one day.
Over Jason Garrett, geez, that's crazy.
I don't think he has that much competition.
McCarthy?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
I've been around McCarthy on some good off the records. I think he'd be better than people think
Yeah.
in that setting.
Nah, he seems like
He's very.
he seems like the guy in the AI photo that Tom Pelissero put out there.
Yeah.
Just wearing a hard hat after a long day at work.
Yeah, for
Crushing a
sure. I
beer.
put McCarthy up there, but I mean Jason Garrett absolutely not.
Unless it's 8 beer.
I mean, you said that came through here.
He doesn't do beers. Jason Garrett does lemonades.
It's true.
And Shoddy does shotties.
Shotties.
Barry Switzer's the number one answer.
I think probably, yeah.
Like, that guy's nuts.
I mean, Bill
Off the
Parcells.
record?
Off the record.
Off the record,
for
Bill
me-
Parcells would be.
For me,
Yeah.
it'd probably be still Jimmy. I got to get to the bottom of this video of him.
Yeah, but with Jimmy, like, you wouldn't go to a bar. He would come to your place and you would stare at the fish in the aquarium as he's in a lawn
I'm pretty
chair.
sure we would be drinking and fishing. I think that's what he does.
He does fish a lot.
Parcells would be up there, but I feel like he's up there in terms of age too. I don't know how.
What
I mean, if we're drinking a lot and this person's also going to drink, I mean, let's see what a blacked out Tom Landry's like.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, how do we know he's not fun?
I bet he was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That they said in that the documentaries that he would go down, like he would be seen on the streets of Dallas after he got fired. He's just like, hey, real nice to everyone, affable, man of the
He
people.
was definitely like smoking cigs at
Still
Valley
wearing the
Ranch
hat?
and- yeah.
What's the coach in the league now?
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, but he's not a head coach now. He's going to be he's
Coach in general.
finalizing a deal to
It's got to be
the
Harbaugh or
OC.
McDaniel.
So from my perspective, like he's not even close
Dan Campbell.
because McDaniel is like the most approachable coach by far these last few years in Indy when you're out at the
Yeah.
bar. By far the most approachable. So like when pictures were coming out of him at airports, you know, with just people walking up to him, it doesn't surprise me. He's like the nicest, most down-to-earth guy. So I'm looking more towards like people that, you know,
Canales.
Type.
yeah, that normally wouldn't say stuff. So
Kellen Moore.
Oh,
I would
gosh.
love to hear Kellen Moore's thoughts on his experience here, like off the record.
Oh, we're only going off of for the Cowboys, or because you said the whole
No,
league.
well, no, that's just the whole league.
Mike Tomlin's pretty high for me in the whole league.
Oh yeah, Mike T be cool. Yeah.
yeah.
I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's the best coach in the league, so I would love to just hear his thoughts on a lot of stuff.
I mean, am I doing it for my own enjoyment, or am I doing it to provide content? Because if I'm providing content, Jim Harbaugh.
If it's
for
off-
my own, I don't want to talk to him at all. So there's just very
I would
two
agree with you
opposite
on
ends
that,
on
100%.
that.
I
Yeah.
bet either one of the Harbaugh brothers. I'm
Go
good.
go just look up. Just type in any if you want, Jameis Winston, Jim Harbaugh, and just let yourself just enjoy that.
I think my curiosity would stop me from getting outside the Cowboys bubble because I think I would love to hear inside stories of their time here with Kellen and Dan Quinn because they both had a little weird situations where
See,
where it felt like the head coach at the time was threatened by them.
yeah.
You know, and then plus Kellen was there for Dak Romo and the mystery midseason press conference.
Yeah.
And if he would tell you everything,
This is just my opinion. I don't know that there is a whole lot with that mystery press conference that you would get from too many other players. Like, I don't feel like Tony was the kind of guy that's going to go out there and he's behind the scenes sharing his thoughts with Kellen Moore about a lot of those things. Like, I feel like the only person that would actually, not the only, but one of the few that would actually give you those thoughts is Tony. Like, if you could get him to talk. But I don't think he's out there sharing, maybe Witten, of course, But like, I don't think he's out there just like everyone knows about what happened.
Okay, no one said Sirianni to have a beer with?
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
fine.
it reminded me
No?
of something that came across my mind this past weekend. The fact that Sean Payton has taken the Denver Broncos to where he has. And I always thought he would end up here at some point. I always thought that was in the back of Jerry's mind as an end game before he hangs it up, is to give the one that got away a chance at head coach. The fact that Sean Payton was sitting around at Fox and his nickname was literally Snacks, and the Cowboys are still like, he had nothing going on, and the Cowboys are like, yeah, we're fine, we're good, we're confident in what we have, and to see him take that roster as far as he has, I mean, just tells you all you need to know about, is Sean Payton still a good coach?
I would push back a little bit on saying the Cowboys.
Yeah, me too.
It's very Micah Parsons to me that it's Jerry Jones obviously felt like it wouldn't work. And honestly, you just see the way Sean is. It would be entertaining for us because he wouldn't just bite his lip and be like, hey, well, if Jerry said that, here would be a lot of pushback. He already has a Super Bowl on his resume. And I don't know that Jerry would have loved that idea. You know, just like, hey,
that's the
hindsight's
problem.
2020, and we already know that like probably going with Dion would have been a bad move. But if you take Kirk Cignetti away, and that's Dion right now that just won the national championship at Colorado, you're telling me that people wouldn't be talking about like, and you didn't even bring him in for a real interview? Like, what are the Cowboys thinking? Like, I get that, but I'm just saying that a lot of this always comes back to Jerry, and that if you just look at the coaches that he's had for outside of Bill Parcells, it's been a lot of guys that he's like, hey, I can get along with this guy. There's not going to be too much of the back and forth. Yeah, I'm not saying
he doesn't want to have
it's
a
not.
bad time.
No, and I get that, but you said Cowboys, so I'm just trying to specify on what there's a difference here, because when you say Cowboys, when you say that for most teams, that can encapsulate Steven, that can encapsulate Will McClay.
Okay, you're right, Jerry.
It's Jerry.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and also the part that kind of sucks for them is like there was a an outing there. It's not like there was a window where you could have got him because he got hired by Denver in 2023. So so there is. I take that back. So the problem is that
You'd have
you're
to give
taking
up
a
picks.
risk.
You have to give up picks.
You have to give up picks, and Jerry wouldn't want to do that.
You'd have to make a deal
but not
with New
only
Orleans.
that, but you also have to give up on that was right in the middle. That was before the 2023 season. So it's actually a bigger risk than you think because you're coming off of back-to-back 12-5 seasons. Mike McCarthy seems to be having it going the right way. That was the first year that he let go of Kellen and was taking over the offense. And
at that time, if Jerry thought that Mike McCarthy wasn't going to be the head coach, if you had him, lie detector hooked up to him, if Mike McCarthy wasn't going to be the head coach at the time you're talking about, it would not have been Sean Payton. It was going to be Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He was ready to, if it went that direction, that he would hand it right off. And then that Packers game happens, and you're just like, all right, I don't know how we can sell that.
Yeah, Niners and Packers. It's like,
You can play the game with Vrabel, though.
Absolutely.
And
but you'd have to. But I will say on Vrabel though, you have to be out on McCarthy right away when the season's over. You can't have the back and forth. Hey, you're going to come to my meeting because he was one of the first. I think he was the first to take a job in that cycle. He was. I'm almost positive that Vrabel took that job before Mike McCarthy. They actually parted ways and put out the statement that we're parting ways.
Wow.
So that's one. That lineup doesn't. You'd have to want him from which they could have, because like I said, him and Steven are close. They've known each other for a long time. That could have been the possibility. But I also will say, you can't just assume that Mike Vrabel 100% wouldn't want to coach the Patriots either, though.
Yeah, given his history.
I'm not saying that it's 100% one way or the other, but he did not take the Titans over the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like, he took a really good job he is very comfortable with. Ownership, top down, the organization, the whole deal. So.
I can say with confidence those would have been the two jobs he wanted the most, though.
No doubt. No doubt.
Okay, let's real quick, we'll do picks in a second.
I still don't know that there's a talking about people that would want the job. I could see a world where Matthew Stafford retires at the end of the year, and Sean McVay steps away too, because he's like, hey, I'm getting out of this for a little bit. He does the TV thing or whatever like that, and a year or two, that's who the Cowboys go after as their next coach, is Sean McVay. Now, that's if he obviously left the Rams. They're not going to want to give up picks and things like that, but I'm saying like down the road, I would not rule that possibility out either.
That's always been something there. Like when Stafford goes, McVay will go.
Yeah, it would make sense.
And they win it this year. Maybe that's time.
You think Cowboys would go after McVay with Jerry?
It depends on how bad things are
Yeah.
this year or next year.
I mean, things have a chance to be really good if you
Because there is something
take care of
about the
business
whole
here in the
like
next 3-4 months.
Bill Cowher, Tony Dungy, probably this is gonna be Mike Tomlin sitting on TV doing stuff that obviously like Kent just brought up with Peyton. Like there's like an attractiveness when you're not coaching and you're the guy on TV and you're saying all that stuff. Like it almost like ups your value. You can't lose any games. All you can do is say all the right things all the time. And I can just see McVay being like, he's still relatively young and being like, I like doing the TV thing, but I got to get back out there and coach, and I got a chance that this is like this ready-made roster. It's got all these pieces. I could be the guy there. I would not rule that one out at all.
Yeah, I think Steve Kerr was kind of in that same
Absolutely.
boat. Yeah.
Jake Ferguson added to the Pro Bowl roster to replace George Kittle. So big Pro Bowl news. I know everyone's going to be locked in for the big game. We'll get to picks in a second. I did enjoy. Is there any other Cowboys thing, like real Cowboys intensive thing that's on your chest that you want to get to?
Jake Ferguson is going
Ferguson
to the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl tight end. We told you when they extended him.
We told you.
I will say, go check out. John's got a couple articles up about the offense and the defense in the future and some, how it could look, you know, moving forward. Who's, maybe on the ledge if they're going to keep or not. Go check those out over at The Athletic. Before we do picks, because we only have 3 picks left this year. The Super Bowl, we talked about the halftime show's Bad Bunny. They added Green Day for a performance before the game. So in my head, it's what they're going to do is they're going to bring out all the Super Bowl MVPs who are still with us because unfortunately people have to die.
That is unfortunate.
So my Super Bowl MVPs are going to come out, and Green Day is going to be ramming through American Idiot and a medley of all their greatest hits before you hand it off to Brandy Carlisle and the others to sing the national anthem and what's going to happen there. Can you name, how many Super Bowl MVPs can you name?
I mean, we could be here a long
I was
time.
going to say.
How many can you name that were Cowboys?
Ray Lewis / Joe Flacco.
That are all the Cowboys MVPs alive?
No.
Huh?
Yeah. I would say. Ooh, I have a big question mark on Harvey Martin.
I was going to say Harvey Martin is one
the
that
only one that didn't
I think
win.
He passed away, yeah.
Chuck Howley.
With all due respect, Harvey Martin passed away.
In the last 5
in
years.
Grapevine, December 24th, 2001.
Really?
Yes, in the last
2001?
5 years.
We're
According to
thinking
Wikipedia,
of Leroy
I'm not-
Jordan, who passed away recently.
Whoa.
Chuck Howley.
Chuck Howley? Was he? Because
Yeah.
Oh, it was Chuck Howley.
Yeah, and a loss.
Yeah, in the loss. Yeah.
Yeah, the
The
great
only
Chuck Howley.
trivia question.
Still crushing at the age of 89.
Okay.
Shout out to
I
Chuck.
would say there's got to be at least 25 that are still alive.
Franco Harris still with us?
Yeah.
Because he was in a odd commercial recently, like one of those like boner pill commercials, I think, where he was like
think he
he
was
popped
doing
up. No, he wasn't, but he popped up on like a dating app.
Extends. That was Jimmy's
No,
thing.
it was weird. It was funny.
Hey, so
Jimmy Extends.
there's certain things.
I do.
There's certain things like during press conferences where if it's something like let's say that press conference the other day, it's over a week now. A bunch of us will get together and transcribe it, and there's whenever I hear Franco Harris, there's this one back in the day. I wasn't covering the team at the time, but everybody broke it up and were transcribing. It was probably like some type of head coach interview or whatever. And somebody spelled Franco Harris because they didn't know who he was. Frank
Harris. It's
apostrophe,
me, Franco Harris.
the great Irish running back. And so anytime his name is mentioned, we always joke around about that. Like,
Meet me at the pub after the game. I'm
and
Franco
because
Harris.
of that, I'm telling you, if there's any name I don't know and I'm in one of those group transcriptions, I always Google it. I'm like, you're not going to do this to me. Sorry.
Who was Super Bowl MVP last year?
Jalen Hurts.
How about the 2 years prior?
Patrick Mahomes.
What about 4 years ago?
I don't even remember
Tom
who the
Brady.
champion was.
Cooper Kupp.
There's
They stole it from Stafford.
Yeah, there's some unlikely ones there. Like that would be fun just to go through the MVPs because you'd get a lot of. I forgot like Desmond Howard. Like
Desmond Howard's
for the
Super Bowl 31.
Packers.
Yeah.
I like the
Larry Brown.
I like when at the Super Bowl
Larry
when they
Brown.
get like all the legendary like quarterbacks together for like there's been a time where they've done it. It's a picture. It's like Brady with like Peyton
Montana.
Manning, Montana Elway, Roger Staubach. Like there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The quarterback thing to me is just
I mean, Marino's been left out of those photos.
no. He's been in
forever.
it. No.
Yeah, no, but the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I meant just like the legendary. You know what it was? It was when they did that like it was like the NFL like all time
50,
team or
yeah,
top
yeah.
100 greatest
Yeah.
players or something like that, and they had all the quarterbacks together. It was pretty badass.
Obscure ones, Malcolm Smith, I guess.
Yeah, Seahawks.
2014.
Yeah, he's still with us.
It's not obscure because he was a big player at the time, but Deion Branch is not someone we talk about a lot.
Deion Branch, 2004 against the Eagles. He had 11 catches that game.
Dexter Jackson, 03, Buccaneers one.
Yeah.
Pick six.
No,
Did he have a pick six? I think he had the pick six, but somebody else had 2 interceptions.
I know Derek Brooks had a pick 6 in that game.
Yeah, so Dexter Jackson may have had a pick six.
What about Super Bowl MVP Larry Brown?
Larry Brown.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be there.
Hopefully.
For the Green Day
Who was
medley.
Who was the MVP for the Ravens Giants Super Bowl in like 2000?
Ray Lewis.
Okay, that's not.
He's still with us as well.
He's also still with us. That's right. All right, that's enough. Let's do
So,
some picks.
no, a question, though.
Somebody tweeted with him on the sideline at the national championship game. Hey, if somebody comes up to you after the game and says Ray Lewis is going to this club, don't go to that club.
There. Right, go the opposite direction.
If he offers you some deer antler spray, stay away. Ask you a question, all you guys a question, because I believe I picked Green Day as the halftime performer.
You did.
Yeah.
So not half a point?
No.
What's going on here?
I wouldn't even think that would be any more than 0.25. I mean,
No.
You're just throwing him on.
Oh, okay. All
You're
right.
throwing them on at the beginning. I mean, to
Remember
me,
this when you turn on the Super Bowl and we're all watching Green Day. Just remember, there's 0 points.
Even that is just the idea of hold on. I want to dissect that sentence. That we're all sitting there watching. You know how many people aren't going to be watching that? Like how many people don't care?
It's on the actual it's not like the 2:00 YouTube pregame show.
Yeah, it's going to be like 5 o'clock.
It's going to be like when the game starts, the Green Day is going to come out there.
And play how many songs?
It's at a
More
medley.
than one?
Medley.
People are changing the channel. Seriously.
Well,
Like,
you have to get to.
and I like Green Day.
Well, it's really the focus is not going to be on
Nobody's
Green
changing
Day.
the channel.
Yeah, the Green Day is going to be background.
The focus will be on the MVPs still living.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people like me that also don't sit there and watch all 32 preview everything.
What
that
are you
goes
going to
with it.
watch at 5 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday?
I'll tell you
instead of
the-
that?
My phone,
Round
like I'm
4,
always doing.
Round
You're gonna
4,
have
the
the TV on.
Finding something cooler on my phone.
The
And
answer's-
I will.
round
Yeah.
4, the
point
waste
is,
management
Kent,
open.
0 points.
Get out
for
of here.
Predicting
I said
Green
I'd
Day.
give you 0.25.
0.25. Okay, there we go.
Jeez.
I'll be watching and gambling on golf so hard. I'll be locked in, just hoping that it doesn't go to a playoff like it did that one year.
The anti-Bad Bunny people are going to be real happy with the American Idiot. Yeah.
Though it's wild that the NFL is framing themselves as apolitical all these years, and then it's like,
Yeah.
here's Green Day. Like if there's anyone that'll go rogue, it's Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh, yeah.
So I think watch for that at least
You think that's more political than maybe having the president there? What would be more political?
right now.
I'm just honored to be in his presence, John.
Okay.
Let's
Let's just keep those politics out of
Don't let them cross over. Hey, politics is pop culture now. I
heard
think people
someone
need
say,
to
like-
probably accept that.
I heard someone say like the fact that I think Trump was at the national championship, and then
Yeah.
you have like the Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza just killing it. Just
That is
irony.
kind of crazy.
Irony's not lost on
Also,
us.
John Harbaugh, though, like a reporter asked him, "Hey, the president gave you a shout out in a tweet for getting the Giants job," and Harbaugh was like, "Hell yeah!" Just pumped up. So yes, politics do cross over into sports.
Okay.
They
Good
do.
to know. I had no idea. I always
They
heard
do.
that they are separate.
Although, well,
Yeah, just ask the Washington Commanders if it's separate right now.
it's weird what the NFL will dip their toes into because you remember their big like pro LGBTQ commercial from the summer that Dez was tweeting about.
I mean,
Was
they
this-
are
they were like,
they
yeah,
are
there's-
McDonald's. Like, what are they really gonna?
They are.
I mean, they're gonna dip their toe into everything.
But don't
I mean,
go too far. But a little.
What do
I
you guys
mean,
think about this?
What is their comp? Seriously, what is their rival?
Oh,
Who's the rival of the NFL?
they're
I would
the-
love. I would
they-
love to hear what
they
the
are the
rival.
king.
What's the rival? Like, who's even playing
There's
for
nothing.
second? I don't even know who it is.
Nothing.
It might be college football, and it's so far down the line. It's incredible.
Yeah.
When they do that thing every year of the top 100 most watched shows, it's embarrassing.
It might
for
be the
everything else.
iPhone. Literally.
I mean,
the phone.
General Hospital, get it together. I mean, you're just getting destroyed by a random Week 12 game between the Ravens and Lions.
General
okay?
Hospital has it together, and anyone that watches consistently. will
Yeah,
know that.
dude. The threads always,
Yeah.
run together. Okay.
What do you think about the AI commercial with the Bucks drafting with AI? Have you seen that?
I hate everything AI.
It's
Yeah,
so
me too.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't
By
like it.
default, I don't like it. I hate
But for the
everything.
Bucks to like put their name on that, like this is how we recruit is give me the top 5 linebackers in college football.
That's where
You
we're
know?
going,
It's like
dude.
this very I don't know if it's the best look. They better draft well over the next few years.
Let's do picks. I will tell you, John, don't have to worry about gassing up your tank. You might be safe. 30 for you on picks as the road to Topeka continues. Saad, 28. Kent and I at 27. 3 games left.
Yeah.
Now, there's a chance of a tie when we take a little group trip.
Winnebago.
Winnebago for sure, dude.
Cook some meth.
Absolutely. Seattle. Now, let's start with the game that's going to be first. New England on the road in Denver, but 5.5-point favorites because Bo Nix broke his ankle. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little conspiracy out there. I think he broke it in the locker room. I know, there's a play where he ran out wide and he broke it. I think he broke it in the locker room celebrating because he was as happy as a little boy.
There's definitely injuries that happen in post-game celebrations that they try and piece back.
Yeah.
Might even been one of the Cowboys this year that
No.
not going to name specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the wildest.
Not in the locker room, but in a celebration. Sorry.
Yeah. As somebody that kind of covers more of the league at this point now, that was one of the wildest 10, 15-minute spans when everything is going on with the overtime game. Then the Sean McDermott rant on the refs, and then Sean Payton already did his
I'm
press
sticking up for
conference.
Buffalo right now.
Damn it.
Sorry, go on.
And then Sean Payton already did his post-game press conference, comes back and announces that, and Stefanski gets hired by the Falcons all at the same time, in 10 minutes.
Beautiful.
It was a wild, and at the same time, the second game just started.
Sweet news,
It
though.
was
Falcons.
wild, dude. Yeah.
We're hiring the Browns coach.
Yeah.
Okay, so picks. John, you're in first place. 5.5.
Me, oof. Just know that playing at Denver is going to be a little daunting there. Give me the Patriots.
New England minus 5.5. Saad.
Give me the Patriots as well.
New England minus 5.5. Kent.
I know it's the Jarrett Stidham revenge game, but give me New England.
I will also take New England. Just that's how I feel.
Yeah,
I'm not doing any game theory at this point.
I think they'll keep it close to where maybe it ends up only being a field goal game. I just don't see a way that Denver gets it done with Jarrett Stidham.
I'll go first this time. Seattle minus 2.5. I will take the Rams and the points.
Wait, what was the line again?
2.5.
Seattle favored?
Yes.
Okay.
Kent.
I'll take Seattle.
Seattle minus 2.5. Saad.
Yeah, I grossly underestimated Seattle last week. I think they were favored by 8.5 against San Francisco, and I was like, yeah, no way. Yeah, give me Seattle. I think that defense is dominant.
And John?
I mean, I want the Rams to win the Super Bowl, so I'll just hedge my bet and take Seattle.
Seattle minus 2.5. There we go. So I'm the only one taking the Rams. I might make up a little ground here. All right. All right. We'll do Super Bowl next week and all that stuff. Actually,
No, we'll do it now.
Yeah, we'll do it
just
now.
make it right
Let's go ahead and get it now. No, thanks everyone for listening. We're at the Haymaker Network Studios in Frisco. Go follow them on social medias, on YouTube, Haymaker Network. Obviously, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1, you can see the Slightly Biased show, too, for all you basketball fans out there. Check out John and Saad's work over at The Athletic. Guys, thank you for what you do. It's courageous.
Thank you for what you do with your bodies.
That's right.
Thank you. And
Got the hat tip.
Kent, the Mad About Movies podcast, they had a big preview of the 2026 movie calendar. Good stuff over there as well. Obviously, Oscar season is upon us.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get the nominees in a couple weeks to find out which 10 movies we have to watch to get ready for that bad boy. So make sure you're checking out that as well. Obviously, you can hit us online on social media anytime and all that stuff. Thank you all for listening. Share it if you would. 5-star reviews are great. The thumbs up button, all that stuff. I can't totally quantify it, but I know it matters. So it's helpful if you do it.
It does help, for sure.
I don't like to be the guy who's begging you to do something, but it is quick. And if I had friends doing stuff.
For the algorithm.
It's just, I would hit it too. Just yeah, it's cool. Even if you hate it, just thumbs up.
Right.
Life's too short. We're here for a blink of an eye. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Well
said.
All right. Until next time, this has been the One Star Cowboys podcast. We love you.
The One Star Cowboys Podcast. The One Star Cowboys Podcast. The One Star Cowboys Podcast. Presented by Haymaker. Presented by Haymaker. Presented by Haymaker.